Hi everybody, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are as usual. I'm Sophie Casey, for those of you who don't know me. I'm the owner and creator of Casey Magazine Creations and obviously Facebook Ads No Bullshit, the group we are in right now. So today I'm going to talk about how to have more hours in the day, because I think it's kind of a thing that we need to do right now because, well, for those of you with kids, it's summer holidays. And obviously I have got a 6-month-old, so for me to manage my workload is, well, near on impossible. So I've learned a few tricks, so I'm going to be talking about specifically to Facebook, so like content creation and advertising, but then also go into business and also the personal development, health and relationship side of things. So let me know if you're watching, and if you're watching on replay, give me a replay. I'm using my phone to do this live. I always use my laptop and I can never see who's watching. I can never see comments properly. And I finally remembered today. So I actually moved my office to outside as well, which is nice. So hopefully there's not going to be anything crazy going on in my neighbourhood, like, I don't know, motorbike accident or crazy chickens or something. You just never know here. So yeah, let me know if you're watching, say hello, and let me know if you can hear me okay. Yeah, and otherwise I'll just get started. So with Facebook, like I said, I've broken it into 2 different sections. So I'm going to talk about the actual like content side of things and also the Facebook ads side of things. So I'm going to start with the absolute obvious when it comes to Facebook content. So if you want to have more time in the day, you don't want to be creating Facebook content for it might be your profile, your LinkedIn even, I mean, it might be your page, might be your group, but you just don't want to be, you don't want to be thinking about that like every day, last minute, trying to have the headspace to think about it. So you should always be planning it, planning in advance, you know, you should be doing like, if you do themes, monthly themes, anything like that, you should be doing it months in advance. So I'm not saying plan all your schedule months in advance because it's going to change, things are going to change, world events happen, you need to be topical. But if you've just got an idea, like month for the next, say, like 3 or 6 months, and then weekly as well, then that'll just really help. And then for your upcoming, whether you do it weekly or just 2 weeks, if you just get them all written down on a spreadsheet, when you've got the headspace, when you're in your zone, and then daily you can just go ahead and post it, or you can use you can use software like Hootsuite. I know I did a live in this group probably about 6 months ago now, talking about different free tools you can use for your productivity. So I'm not going to be talking about the different tools today. I will mention a couple, but that's not really the point of today. Also, if you do use something like Hootsuite, it reduces your reach. So if you do it natively on the platform, especially after engaging then with other people, then you'll get a much better reach with your content. So yeah, that's the main thing. So plan ahead and schedule. Another thing when creating content is you should be repurposing your content. So that, when I'm talking about that here, I know you can do it with posts as well, so you can rewrite your post, same but different. Sorry, Thai saying. So you can have the same message and write it differently. You don't need to like come up with a brand new idea every day for your content. But what I'm specifically talking about with this is video content. So if you do lives in your group or your page, your profile, whatever it is, say you do a long live that's like packed full of value, what you can actually do, and you don't need any special software to do this at all, what you can do is you can, as long as you structure it first, so before you go live, have a plan. So for example, if I'm doing it now, so I've got like my section, my Facebook, the business bit, the personal development bit. I could actually break this live into those different sections, and then I could use them as different posts focusing on each of those areas. So they could be done into like separate videos on YouTube, they could be done into separate blog posts on your website. And then you've got, so it's good for SEO basically, because you've got the keyword the keyword intensity is like more specific to that specific bit. So if you're covering like a large number of different things in your videos, then you could just make lots of mini videos about those specific subjects, topics, and then use those in lots of different posts, and it'll just like go a lot further for you basically. And within, if you use Facebook, if you do it on your Facebook page, from within Facebook Creator Studio, I think it's facebook.com/creator Studio off the top of my head, I might be wrong. In there you've actually got tools now where you can edit, so you can edit videos, you can crop, you can cut different bits, you can save them into episode series, you can do so much now without needing any special software. And you can actually do that from within YouTube as well. If you've got the YouTube, it's not new anymore, but some people still have the classic mode on. If you go to the new mode, you can actually edit all your videos that way as well. So you don't need to be paying like 50 quid a month for the Adobe suite like I do. You know, you can just actually do it there and then. In fact, you can do it on your phone. There's like loads of free apps you can use on your phone. I can't even think of any off the top of my head now. You've got Video Shop for a start. That's one where you can use videos and you can cut them into smaller videos or merge them together. So you don't need like any big mad, you know, don't need like mad design skills or anything like that. You can just turn it into smaller content and then repost it without even needing a laptop, which is really great and just saves you loads of time basically. So that is the like the content section, and just what I'll say is if you're going to do that with lives, what you should do is you have your beginning bit where you're talking, introducing, you're saying hello to people, and then just refrain from sort of answering questions or responding to comments while you're doing that bit of your content, and then just have a break in between, respond then. And then when you start your next section, don't respond to comments again, and that way you've got clean bits of video which you can then use on YouTube. Because when you're watching a live that wasn't live, that you don't know was the live, it can be really annoying when someone's like saying, oh yeah, and like answering to loads of queries, and especially if they don't read out what the question was and you can't see what that question was, it can just be really off-putting. Also, like when you're creating a live video, most people watch it on replay than watch it live. So if at the beginning all you've got is like someone waiting for people to arrive, or just doing loads of hellos and loads of chit chat, then the people who actually wanted to rewatch it for the value are just going to get a little bit annoyed basically. So you wanna sort of make sure the first few seconds of whatever you create is like got the value, or it's got a hook, or it's got something exciting, it's got something about you, you know, just something like that basically. So I'll move on to actual Facebook ads. So first of all, if you're creating Facebook ads, what you should be using is checklists, because Facebook ads, as you know, is like massively fiddly. It's a massive ball ache. There's so much stuff to remember, whether it's like auditing like your copy, your images, the actual like setup. There's just so much to do and so much to remember and so much to check at the end. So you should always be using checklists for setup, for when you're managing them. So when you've got Facebook ads running, obviously you need to be checking them daily, sometimes more than daily, but try not to overmanage. But so you should have like a weekly check, a daily check, a weekly check, a monthly check if they're ongoing. But you don't want to be sort of like opening Facebook ads and being like, wow, I'm overwhelmed. There's like so much here. What am I doing? What am I looking at? You should have like a set checklist of things that are important to you. So if you're running a traffic campaign, for example, you want to be checking the click-through rate. Whatever campaign, you want to be checking things like the frequency, but you don't want to be sitting there thinking, what do I need to check next? Because every single thing that you've got to sit and think about is going to take, what, maybe it's 5-10 seconds, but when that's 20 things, you've just added like 10-15 minutes, half an hour even, onto what you wanted to do. Also, if you're not following a checklist, the chances are you're going to get distracted. It's like, oh, that's a pretty new stat I didn't know about. What's that mean? What's that? And you start looking into maybe all the stats that aren't really important for your campaign, for what you're doing for your business. But you're spending time looking at, well, I'm like, shiny, I see something shiny, I see like, oh, what's that? I'm just like, I'm a geek, I know, I love stats. But when I've got like a clear checklist that I can follow, I can just get through it like tick, 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 bam, job's done. So especially if you're doing it for lots of different products, or say if you do Facebook ads professionally and it's not just for your business, then you'll have lots of different clients who you need to work your way through, and yeah, it can take a long time basically. So yeah, get your checklist down basically. So yeah, my next point was going to be don't overmanage. So when you start running a Facebook ads campaign, it's very easy for the first 24 hours especially to keep looking at it every half hour, every hour. Oh, how many impressions have I got? How many clicks? Have I got any conversions yet? Depending on what sort of campaign you're running. And the truth is, you're not going to see anything that really is accurate to you. I mean, if you've got a huge budget, like and you're running a huge budget from day one and it's really fast moving, then obviously you're going to get answers quicker. But if you're just doing a normal, small, your average daily budget, say between like 500 and 1,000 a month, then you're not going to see that much. And anything you do see, it's not going to be accurate enough for you to, it's not going to be, enough information for you to make decisions based on it. You need to leave things running for a few days to let Facebook's algorithm work, to make Facebook work stuff out, work out your audience, work out your creatives. If, if for example, you've got a few ads running in one ad set or in one campaign, then you need to give Facebook time to show the ad to all the different types of people to see who responds to what, especially if you've got dynamic ads running. Dynamic ads just means an ad that's got like a combination of different images, different copies. So it's not the same as like A/B testing. It's just you throw Facebook loads of different things and say, right, you test that for me basically, and it just rotates them and it puts certain copies of certain images together for certain people and it works it out. But within the first few days you shouldn't be touching your campaigns really, unless, like I said, it's like really high budget, really fast moving, you're on a really tight schedule. So yeah, over management is a time eater. It is absolutely a massive time eater. You can get so hung up over like little changes, being like, oh, what does that mean? Should I change it? Should I do this? Should I switch it off? No, don't do it. Just leave it, let it run, give it a day, have a set time each day. Like in the morning, I would say first thing in the morning, and then again at night if you do it by daily. And then you're not all day, like, because if you keep going back and forth, just have a look, your brain is just going to be like you're just going to have it at the back of your mind, and you're not going to be able to focus on the things that you're supposed to be focusing on, like your actual important work. So that's like a huge one, and I'm bad for it myself. I've definitely spent way too much time looking at things and checking things that I shouldn't, so I should take my own advice. My next one is actually for those of you who don't use Facebook ads. Now, I know I teach all the time that you need to be doing organic. You need to be running organic before you really start running ads, because that's the only way you're going to know who your real audience are, what type of content creatives, what type of like messaging works with your audience. It's the only way you'll find out if people actually want your product or service. But there are times when you should, when you could and should use Facebook, even if you're not at that stage. So as long as you've got your brand sorted, as long as you've got your business sorted, you don't just have to be running, posting all the time organically, because it is massively time consuming. Do still post, but don't, if you haven't got like time to post in like multiple groups every day, then running high funnel campaigns, so that's like reach, engagement, even just like traffic is higher funnel, you know. So you're just basically running ads which are really low cost, just to get your message out there to who you want it to go to. So rather than like fretting and trying to post like 20 times a day, which probably is not even going to help you, it's probably going to make your organic worse. Like if you post too much, Facebook's going to think, well, this isn't valuable because most people aren't really responding anymore. So yeah, so what you could do if you want to save time, just run high funnel, sorry, I can see my baby dancing over here. You're dancing, baby. Run high funnel campaigns, just to reach a perfect audience and then get them into your data basically. So whether they engage with your ad or they click to your website, you've then got them in an audience. Their eyes are on you, they know who you are, and then later you can deal with them again. And it just, I don't know, for the cost of like, for a $5 you could reach, I don't know, a few thousand people. How many people, I mean, okay, what's a $5 to your time? How many minutes is that? And how many minutes would it take you to reach that many people organically? So do organic, always do organic, 1,000,000%, but I think also you can, if you want to save time, just run some ads just to like, it's just easy reach. It's just a really, really easy way to reach your target audience basically. Yes, so that's that. I've written don't overmanage twice on my list, which is great. This next one is a little bit more advanced, but I'm just going to throw it in there anyway. For those of you who are running campaigns, it's not advanced, it just sounds it, but it can put people off. So if you're running, say, a traffic campaign, and you're running a few different types of ads, and you know that you want at least 1% to click through to your website, So basically what you'll be doing is you'll be checking every day, and then when you see that one of your ads that you're running is consistently low, say it's like 0.6 or something percent, so you're going to want to turn that off. But only if, say, 1,000 people have seen it and not clicked. So you know it's real. It's not just like 20 people have seen it and not clicked, because, like I said, you need to let things run for longer before you'd get like a true, you know, like a true representation of what the ads are doing, basically. So what you can do is when you're if you're looking at the ads in Ads Manager, if you just, like, or the ad set or the campaign, whichever way, you'll see a button that says Rules. And if you just click that, it will allow you to set up a rule. So if you know basically that you're going to take a certain action at a certain time, for example, if you know that if your ads are less than 0.7% click-through rate, you're going to turn them off. Then you can set up a rule so that it says, for example, when reach has gone past 1,000 people and the click-through rate is still below this, it will automatically turn off. And you can, that's just one example. You can do things like when a certain ad spends a certain budget, you can do it on frequency. So when everyone in your audience has seen your ad more than 3 times, you can set it to automatically switch off. Maybe you don't want people to see your ad over and over again and get bored with it, get annoyed with it. So setting rules like that from within Facebook can save you like so much time. And it does, I know it sounds advanced, but it's really not advanced. Like, just check it out. If you're running ads, just click the rules button and see the options it gives you. And yeah, it just gives you like loads of opportunity to save loads of time, basically. And the last one for actual Facebook ads is your reports. So again, if you know when you know what you want to look for in your results, so when you know whether it's your you know, what are you interested in, your conversions, your engagement, your click-through rate, whatever, then rather than checking every day, if you just create a report with those exact columns, you can just set it to automatically email to you each week, like every however you want, and just have it delivered into your inbox, or even delivered to a client if you're doing it for a client, rather than having to go find it, create the columns that you want, or, you know, or customize your columns. You can do as well. But yeah, that will just save like so much time just by having these reports. Hey Emily, how are you? Hey, sorry, if I had no idea you could even do all this, I'm so overwhelmed. Oh, bless you. Yeah, let me know if you've got any questions at all. I didn't know you were actually into like Facebook ads and stuff. That's really cool. Okay, yeah, so that was the Facebook side of things. And I just want to talk about the actual business side as well now, because like I said, I've got my 6-month-old and I've learned so much in the last 6 months about how to actually get stuff done like without just being completely overwhelmed and stressed all the time. So similar to my first one in Facebook ads, checklists. In business, do the same. Do lists. Use lists for everything. If you just like rely on, for example, working from email, then all day you're just going to be getting caught up and get distracted. Like while you're working, you'll be like see a new email come through and be like, oh, I've got that to do, that to do, that to do. But for the day you're actually working on, you should just have a set of the top 3 or 4 priorities of things that you are going to get done, and don't like, I don't know, just don't have a list as long as that of like all these things, when you know that in reality you're just going to ignore half of them, and then the next day you're going to feel shit that you haven't done it, and you're just going to end up like rescheduling it or just copying it into a new page if you do it in a notebook. And the other thing I was going to say is just use something like Asana or Trello. People tend to like one or the other. I'm an Asana girl myself. Just they're absolutely lifesaver, especially things that you do every day or every week or every month, because you just set them to in Asana you do anyway, you just set them to automatically repeat, you know, on the whatever day of the month or every week or whatever you want. And it just, even though you might know in your head, I've got this, this, this and this to do, every time you finish one task, you're still going to have to take that time to access your head and think what is next on my list. Whereas if you've got it in a list or on a checklist, you can literally just glance your eyes for a second and you've got it there and you don't have to think. So especially if like when you work and you get into your zone, it can take a long time to sort of get in and out of your zone and then remember where you are, and then, or if you've got kids and you're getting distracted every now and then to breastfeed or to, well, in the summer holidays now, isn't it, in England? So If you're getting distracted all the time to, I don't know, let them in, let them play outside, make lunch, do whatever, you'll be like, oh, where was I? And you'll forget what you're doing completely. So if you've got lists, then it just takes out the need for any more pressure on your poor little head, basically. Saves me anyway. In terms of actual like business procedures, so when you're taking on new clients, this is the next one. When you're taking on new clients, you should have like a set procedure that you follow. So if you've not got it now, all you have to do is next time you take on a client, record everything that you do, make a note of everything you ask for, all the emails, any sort of like checklists you make, anything like that, and just save it so that you can just duplicate it next time. You could just use a Google Doc to create email templates and then just copy and paste the email templates and send it out. Use like Google Drive or Dropbox or something to create folders if you've got documents for your clients which you need them to read. If you've got like document request forms from them, like checklists and stuff that you need to send them. So for me, I need things like, I need them to give me access to the Facebook ads account, I need them to give me things like images, all of these kind of things. So what I do is I have in Asana like a template of what I need from new clients, and then I just invite them to that, and then they can, or then I just assign it to them, and then they know exactly what they need to send me, they know what's outstanding, and everything's like really easy basically. And again, I said I'm not going to talk about tools, but if you do like using tools, you can use things like what's it called? Oh, I've just gone completely blank, but there's like software you can use basically to integrate like Asana and Trello with Google Mail, so that when something happens, when certain emails come in, or when you create certain tasks, it automatically sends out emails. So whatever it is that you do and however you do it, whatever it is you do to get new clients when you've got them, basically just have it automated, and then you can take more clients on. You can spend more time having interviews with doing meetings with them, interviews, phone calls, whatever, and less time actually faffing about with the admin. And the same goes for proposals. Now, I do not follow my own advice here. When I do a proposal for a client, I spend bloody ages doing it. Like, it just I'll take so long because I do it. So I spend so much time and put so much strategy behind it and everything. But really, I should just have one set template with the same headings when I just write a sentence or two, and that's it. So I recommend that you do that, and I recommend that I do that. I just need to start doing it. And then the same thing goes for when you're taking on staff. So if you want to scale your business, you will end up taking on staff. You will be outsourcing things, because that will just free you up to do the things that you're getting paid for, basically, because you're not getting paid for doing your books, you're not getting paid for doing your own branding, for scheduling your own posts. So you will be probably wanting to outsource that at some time. Definitely recommend it. It took me years before I started doing it, and it saved my life now. I've said that so many times, but that's because it is so true. But the same as when you're taking on new clients, when you're taking on new staff, it is very time consuming, because you have to teach your processes, you have to show them everything that needs to be done, the way you like to do it, how to do it. So basically, the next time you do any of these things, just do a screen recording and then just save it in a staff training folder, and then you'll eventually have this collection of videos. So when you take on any new staff or any new, freelancer or whatever, you can just say, ping, there you go, there's that. Do you know what I mean? Then you've got everything there. You don't need to spend any time training them. You can just say, there's everything you need. Let me know if you've got any questions, and get started, basically. And then, obviously, because you wouldn't just have like one person, you would have people that specialise in different things. People who help you with like your design for your business, people who do the accounting stuff, people who do the VA kind of stuff, So it's just handy if you've got all your processes down, and then whenever you want to work with someone, you're busy enough. That's why you're hiring someone. You're not hiring someone because you've got spare time. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, it took me so long to take someone on because of the time it would take to actually do it, and it's like a catch-22. So if you have any tasks that you do more than once a week, month, or even ever, just make a recording of you doing it, and then they can do it later for like no training, basically. My next one, so same sort of subject, is if you're going to have like calls with clients or something like that, then what you should do is before the actual, say it's like a new client call, if you use something like Calendly, or there's lots of them, I use Calendly, you can set it up so that they have to actually answer questions before they can book their call. So when I get new people who want to have a meeting with me, for example, I get the questionnaire they filled out, which has got their website, the social links, the budget they think they want to spend, their main products or services, and a few other things, which allows me to do the research I need to do ready for our meeting. And then we have our call. I've already got the questions I want to ask, and it just means that you can have a much more my brain's just like shite today, I can't think straight. The call's going to be a lot more streamlined anyway. There's not going to be like loads of questions, loads of faffing about. The clients, the people who you have the call with, they're not going to spend hours explaining what they do, because you've already looked on our website, you've already got that, you already know what questions you want to ask. So you're just going to have a much more productive call, basically. And then once you're off the call, then that's it. You won't have like loads more questions to ask. It's not going to be loads of back and forth. And it just means, again, you'll be able to spend more time actually getting new clients and less time doing all the faff that comes with it, basically. And my last one in business is about how you actually speak to your existing clients, existing customers. So, and it's automated responses. So there's three like main basically ways that I do and recommend. So one of them's bot. I know everyone, when you hear the word bot, you might think, oh, I can't do a bot, it's expensive, I don't know how to do it. With ManyChat, for example, it's free for up to 500 contacts, and you do not need skills to do it. Literally, you can set up a really basic thing that's literally just got 3 buttons, one that goes to your website, one that, say, goes to your Facebook group, and one that goes to, I don't know, your calendar link to book a call. And it's just free, and it means that people can just go to your messenger bot, and then all they have to do is click on one of those. They don't need to be messaging you back and forth saying, oh, what do you like? What do you do? Do you have a group? Do you have this? Do you do that? It just happens on the bot. If you don't want to like go and use something like ManyChat, the beautiful thing is Facebook now actually allows you to do that from within Facebook, from within your page. So if you literally go to your page on Facebook, go to settings, go down to, I'm just going to make this up now, go to messages, messaging, something like that. And you've got options there where with no bot whatsoever, you can actually set up auto responses. So we've got options actually. You've got like lead gen, auto responses, and something else, welcome message and something else. So, oh yeah, you can set up like FAQs, for example. So if you get a lot of people who message your page asking you the same questions over and over, especially if you're like e-commerce and you get a lot of people asking about like shipping, delivery, things like that, you can actually set it up without even having a bot, so that those auto responses go out. I think with the Facebook one, the one that's built into Facebook, it's a bit annoying because you have to choose. You have to like choose either automated responses or lead gen or something else. Whereas like with like ManyChat, you could have all of them for on the free plan. But if you just don't want any third-party software and to do it in Facebook, you can just do that. And also, so when people message your page, it will automatically respond, say, we've received your message, we'll get back in this time, you know, however long it takes. So the next one is something I downloaded recently, WhatsApp Business. Let me know if you use it, if you're watching, because it's really good. Not many people even know it exists. So you just download it, and then it will talk you through moving your normal WhatsApp app to the business app. And basically it's the same as your WhatsApp. You've still got your old messages on there, people still see you the same. But when new people message you, they get a business message back saying, hi, thanks for messaging Casey Marketing Creations, how can I help? You can set up your autoresponders on there. You can set up links. It's just really good. Like, I've never heard anyone speaking about it. So if you're watching, do let me know if you've used WhatsApp Business, because I highly recommend it. I've not had time to finish doing it yet, but you can list your services on there. You can put links on there. You link up your social media. And soon, hopefully soon anyway, they've been talking about it for years, but Facebook are going to be releasing a new integration where you can actually integrate your WhatsApp, Instagram, direct messages, and I think I mentioned this in my last live or a while ago, and Facebook messages, so it's all in like one app, and then so you'll be managing all of your client interactions from one place. Again, I don't know how it's going to work because WhatsApp's done by phone number, and obviously Facebook's done by Facebook, and Instagram's done by Instagram. Well, and Facebook, they're linked obviously. But yeah, so they're all going to be things. They're all going to be linked soon. I'm losing my voice. Drink water. So yeah, those are my main business ones, and all of these things, when you put them all together, like, if all of these things applied to you and you just changed it, you've probably just freed up like 2 hours a day or something. It's like the small things that really like just dig in and take all your time. And this next one is probably, this applies to me, I don't know if it applies to you. As a business owner, as a professional in my field, I need to keep up to date with what happens. I'm sure you are too, depending on what industry you're in, will determine how, you know, how frequently things change. Obviously, Facebook changes every bloody day. Like, it's ridiculous, it's a joke. So I need to listen to podcasts all the time. But also, it's important, if you want to be productive in your work, and if you want to do well, you need to have a balance of like work, personal development, relationships and health. So what I do personally is I like basically combine them. So for me, if I need to like listen to a podcast so that I can stay on top of my game, just do it while I'm taking a shower, or like while I'm doing exercise. Do you know what I mean? You can do it while you go out for a walk. And if you just do them things together, then, you know, you just save like so much time. Things that, if you need to like learn something basically, just try and do it on audio. Don't like sit there and watch videos. If it's someone just talking like me, basically I should do this on a podcast, and then you can go and listen to it instead of having to sit and watch it live, basically. But yeah, that's my biggest thing. Like, I've saved so much time just by combining basically my personal development and health into one. So listen to podcasts and do my and do like my exercise and stuff all together. And another one you could combine would be like your relationships and your breaks from work. So if you're working at home, if you've got the kids at home and stuff, then don't try and eat at your desk and be busy. Like, go and eat together, and then you're getting your bonding time and you're getting a break from work, killing two birds with one stone, and then you've saved time and done good basically. So yeah, that's just all I'm going to say about like the personal development side, because it's not really why we're here today. But yeah, so that's like basically what I wanted to say, and then I've just got a few like top tips basically, which these are basically what saved me, what helped me the most. So before I go to bed, I always check my emails one last time, because actually, let me just step back one. So when you're working, when you're like focusing on something, don't check emails. Turn your phone notifications off, put your phone away, close your email software, and just focus on one thing, like for an hour, for 90 minutes, for 2 hours, whatever it is, depending on your situation. I struggle to do 2 hours because of Bua, obviously. But if you do that, guaranteed, in that 2 hours, you'll get more done than you would have done in 7 hours of faffing about, of listening to Facebook notifications, of getting emails, of doing all this sort of stuff. So just get yourself in the zone and just focus on like one thing for that. Just for however long you choose, and you'll just be amazed at how much you get done. So then what I do personally is I then check my emails basically before bed, and it just takes that extra thing out of the morning. So because of, well, for me it's different because I've got the time difference. So say I switch off and do like family stuff, well, I try to at 5. It's like, apart from when I do a live, it's 5:30 now. But that means that by 11, England's only just at, I'll check my math skills out here now, hang on, it will only be 4 PM in England. So I get a lot of stuff before I go to bed. So if I don't check my emails before bed, in the morning I'm going to have loads. But I can happily just sit in bed, quickly clear my emails without even having to like think about anything. And then what you should do then is just create your list of your priorities, not everything, but just your top priorities that you're going to do the next morning. And then do them in the morning before you check your email. Don't check your email in the morning. Just get straight into your project, get it done, tick it off your list, because it's going to be the thing. You should always choose the hardest thing, the thing you don't want to do, the thing that you keep putting off that needs to be done. Focus on that first. Just do 2 hours straight in the morning and get it done, and then check your email, and then do all the faffy annoying bits that take up all the time, going back and forth with people. But yeah, just make sure you just do that main bit, that main chunk. and you will just yeah, you'll just save so much time. You'll just have so much more time. You'll finish everything earlier and you'll be like, what am I doing now? What have I forgotten to do? Like, that's literally what I'm doing. A few times recently I've sat here and been like, shit, what am I doing? What, have I forgotten something? Because I've finished my work and Bua's not hungry yet, and I'm like, that can't be right. He's always crying and hungry before I finish my work. But because I've started to do all these things and get into like this routine, I've just got so much more time. It's just amazing, really. So yeah, said all of those. Yeah, don't multitask. Don't try multitask. I tried to do it so many times and you just end up doing a half job, you end up doing a shit job, you end up having to do it again, or you end up forgetting what you're doing. Yeah, and that's basically all I wanted to say, with one last major tip, which is make time for yourself. Like, one thing I always do wrong is the free time I get is the time where I do my exercise, podcast, shower, and it's not actually relax time. Like, I don't actually give myself that time to relax. But you need to give you time to do yourself. You need to give yourself time to do nothing, like nothing productive. Just be in nature. Don't look at your phone. Just like literally, just do. Let your head just like get together, and then literally every day you'll be so much more focused, so much more productive, and so much happier, that you'll get so much more done because you're fresh and energized and you're not overwhelmed with too many thoughts because you've not had time to close all the tabs up here. Yeah, and you'll just get so much done basically, and you'll have more time in a day and you'll be happier, and that's what we want to be, right? So yeah, that's everything I wanted to say today. I feel like I've just spoken on like absolutely loads, so hopefully this has helped. Hopefully some of you can take some of these tips and you know, be more productive, get more shit done. And yeah, let me know if you've got any questions at all. Otherwise I'm gonna go and do nothing outside with my baby and husband. But yeah, I think on mobile there's a little bit of a delay, so I'll just say hello to the fat cat. This is my little Raffas. Say hello. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. And oh yeah, next Tuesday in the group, the lovely Rachel is going to be in here teaching you how to get leads from your Facebook group. So those of you with Facebook groups, come and watch. She is amazing at what she does. Yeah, that's going to be packed full of value too. And otherwise, just I'll be there the next week, and thank you for watching and hope to see you soon.